Hey everybody, question for you. Do you have a difficult time receiving? Do you have a difficult time receiving self-love, unconditional love, love from others? Do you have a difficult time receiving a compliment or receiving any type of support when it's offered? We're going to talk about that more today. So thank you and welcome back to the Energy Healing Lifestyle Journal Self-Care Challenge Day 14. Again, my name is Robin Knott, and I am your host of the Energy Healing TV and podcast on YouTube, Rumble, and Spotify, and the founder of the EnergyHealingSchool.com. I'm a certified Reiki Master Teacher and have a Master of Social Work degree specializing in mental health and addiction treatment. I'm here to teach other empathic healers Usui Reiki and other energy healing modalities with a strong focus on self-care, self-love, and self-worth. Without keywords, feelings of blame, shame, or guilt, how often do we, when we try to take care of ourselves and someone else needs something, we start to feel guilty? Like we don't deserve to take a break. We don't deserve to take a breath of fresh air. We don't deserve to receive, right? We don't deserve to fill our cup before we start dishing and sharing our energy with everyone else. So a couple of things, if you don't mind. So let me back up. My apologies, I'm jumping ahead. With the acronym of self-care, today we cover the letter R for receiving, right? And my acronym of best you, it's unconditional love. And through crown chakra, because the I can't talk now. Crown chakra is that opening, right? Where we receive that direct connection with the source of unconditional love. Just trying to reground because I got excited there and was getting all fumbled up. So I was looking up a few things about receiving that I wanted to share. And one is from the Guardian, and I think it was like Guardian.ng. It says, a receiver is someone who gracefully accepts and embraces all that God has promised and given in response to God's love and goodness. I must say, a receiving and grateful heart always produces a generous soul, right? Your receiving from God should make you a generous giver. You can't bring forth fruit until you first receive from God because He started it, sorry. Point being, God, source, universe, whatever name you use in your relationship with all that is. However, point being, we need to receive, right? Somewhere we were conditioned to believe that we shouldn't. I don't disagree that giving is a great thing. It's not just take. We're not taking. Feel the difference in that. We're not taking. There's a difference between taking and receiving, right? We're not out taking from other people. But when things are offered to us, we receive it. I love the difference in the feeling of that energy. So please take a moment with that. Another one I found, this was a blog post, I believe, from Mark LaRouste. I could be butchering his name, and my apologies if I am. And the title of it was, Why is it harder to receive than give? So I didn't read or share, I'm not going to share the whole article, but apparently this came to him from something, I don't know if it was a book or when Brene Brown was speaking, but it had to do with that. Something that she had said when she was talking about vulnerability. And what Mark says is receiving love, receiving help is much more vulnerable than giving. True, right? Because you can stay armored up and give, but you cannot stay armored up and receive. And I thought that was really profound. So I think it's about vulnerability and self-protection. It just takes a lot of work and practice. But that feels really accurate, right? And you can feel strong, you can feel protected, and you can give, and you can feel good about giving, but not feel open and vulnerable. But yet receiving does feel vulnerable when you're not used to it, right? Or when sometimes there's that little bit of fear of like, What are you going to want in return? Because again, conditions and programs, right? And you get used to people saying, well, I did this for you. Either they lay on a guilt trip because they offered you something, or had an expectation of, well, I did this for you and now you owe me something back, right? So there's different life experiences that can condition us to believe that we're supposed to give and not receive, and a fear around receiving, vulnerability around receiving. Another one, and this I just, the very top of it, living proof. What does God say about unconditional love? And again, please, whatever name you use in your relationship, I directly connect God with the source, or as the source of unconditional love. Choices of words and names. But unconditional love means you cannot earn love. I like that. It's not that you earn it. You already, quote unquote, deserve it, right? The love of God is unconditional, as his nature is to love. And that gives a Bible quote. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God. His pure, perfect, unconditional love moves him towards selfless action. The importance of that receiving in order to give. And it's not about that earning. It's not about the expectations, right? It's not about, well, I did this for you and now you should do this for me. Well, that's not fair. I gave you and now you need to give me. Yes, there should be a level of inflow and outflow. And yes, as humans, we need to set boundaries, right? Because there's an imbalance between the inflow and outflow. It also doesn't mean that we just allow people to constantly take from us either, right? Because there's that difference between the give and the take. Am I willingly and openly giving? And do I willingly and openly receive? Or am I trying to forcefully give where it's not wanted? And are people just trying to take and take and take and take? Which again, healthy boundaries. We are talking about that. We are covering that. We're going through that in the masterclass, the live round, first live round, November 20th. So please, the link is in the description. Sign up for that and join me live, or there will be replays. I just kind of really want y'all to join me live, not gonna lie. So some more that I was journaling on, because I think this is really big. Receiving has been a difficult one for me, and it's hilarious because as I was sitting with, and the acronym, honestly, especially the self-care one, just kind of dropped in. And it dropped in pieces, and not gonna lie, I had some resistance to some of it, right? This one being a big one that I had resistance to because I've had historically that resistance to receiving, right? And then I had noticed this like carryover. We heal in layers, no blame, shame, and guilt. A carryover that on each Sunday I had to like really look to see like what is R again? Receiving, allowing ourselves to receive. Here's the other thing. You know how I like to flip stuff around, and my brain is kind of deep. So technically, kind of like how we always manifest, and we talked about that the other day. We always manifest. Manifesting isn't always a thing that we're like, oh, I manifested the Jeep I wanted. Now, I already own a Jeep, but I've been eyeballing some fun little Wranglers, not gonna lie. So I manifest this Jeep, just using the example. I manifested this Jeep I wanted. Well, you know what else I manifested? Criticism from people around me. You know what else I manifested? Judgment from people around me, because that's what I'm getting. You know what else I manifested? Financial issues. You know what I mean? Like it's not all just the things that we desire. That's not the only time we're manifesting. It just seems to be the only time we're excited about what we manifest. Because I don't get excited when I'm met with the criticism that apparently I manifested, right? Because there it is when it's there. You hear what I'm saying? Same with receiving. So what do you allow yourself to receive? Because we do have I don't love the word control, but control, right? We're not disempowered, we are empowered. So again, it's not about blame, shame, and guilt. It's about having the awareness. We want to be aware, assess, and align. Having the awareness, which empowers us to then make choices, right? To then change things that we're not thrilled with, to then change things that feel out of alignment, if you will. So to be aware of what we do receive. What have I received? Criticism. What have I received? Judgment. It seems to be a common humanness. I say humanness like ego, nature, not soul, spirit, unconditional love, right? Low vibrational nature that we get programmed and conditioned to believe. It seems, quote unquote, easier to receive those things. It seems easier to receive criticism. Seems easier to receive judgment. It seems easier to receive people needing something from me all the time, right? Not all, I'm exaggerating all the time, but it might feel like it sometimes, right? But we've allowed ourselves to receive that. We've allowed ourselves to create that because when we are giving and giving and giving, we teach people that, right? There's that saying, we teach people how to treat us. So when people get used to you being the one who gives, they expect you to give. When they expect you to give more and more, right? When you don't receive in return, like you don't receive a gift in return, you don't receive support in return, you don't receive love in return, you don't receive help in return. And again, I don't mean like tit for tat kind of thing, that we're not keeping tally marks and going, well, I did this for you, it's your turn to do this for me. Just that flow of energy, the inflow and outflow of energy of giving and receiving. When we block that, no thank you, no thank you, no thank you. We're teaching people, right, to not give us anything in return, whether it's return or not, but not to give us anything. We teach people that we're not going to receive, that the only thing we're going to receive is their need for help. The only thing we're going to receive is their projections of whatever unresolved stuff they're lugging around. And we're being the, I don't want to say verbal punching bag, but in a sense, right? When people project out grossness from their own unhealed stuff and their own challenges, their own difficulties, it's heavy, right? But there you are. There I am. There we are. There you are, standing there, willing to take it, willing to receive it, right? Empathic healers. We feel the energy, we absorb the energy. If you have heard my videos from I believe that they're all from this week, I've talked about the games, right? The football. People throw out that projected grossness, we catch the ball, hold on to it, and kind of run with it. Like, okay, it's mine now, I got it. I received that. I received your grossness. I received your criticism. I received your judgment. I received your pain. I received your sorrow. But no thank you to the happiness, and no thank you to the love, and no thank you to the support, and no thank you, right? What? What are we receiving? So that's why I like to combine as we journal. Again, so let me back up because I'm jumping ahead. We want to be aware of what we're receiving. Assess, is what we're receiving, that was kind of a tongue twister, is what we are receiving in alignment with the source of unconditional love? Well, if you reflect back or go back and listen again on the different quotes that I had shared from different articles, right? Because I just screenshotted them and then read them off my phone here. It talks about receiving love. Yeah. It talks about receiving the love from the source of unconditional love. God, source, creator, universe, whatever name you use. That highest vibration. Are we receiving that? Even if we're not yet receiving from other people, do we take time to connect, to pray, meditate, whatever your ritual is for that highest connection, to allow yourself to receive directly? If you do energy work, right? How you connect, how you open yourself up, how you allow yourself to receive. We become a conduit for other people. But do we allow ourselves to receive too? Hmm. Lots to think about. Let me check my journal and see if we covered everything. I kind of felt like that was that. Let's see. So I do hope that you have your journals. I do hope that you're journaling with me, whether live or replay. Either is fine. Again, if you have questions, I know I like to go deep. Again, it's the way my brain works. Drop questions in the comments, drop aha moments in the comments. If you are aware of what you're receiving and you're okay with sharing, go ahead and drop that too. And if you don't want to share openly, like on YouTube or Facebook or Rumble or Spotify, come on over to the Energy Healing School. And in the energy healing community, where it's private, just community members, you can share in there as well, right? I have spaces in there. I'm trying to think which space we would use for. You can put it on the 7-day chakra healing challenge, actually, because we do talk about the chakras. This follows in line with each of the chakras. I talk a little bit more about self-care, but it is directly affected and interlinked, right, with each one of our chakras. So again, receiving unconditional love from God, Source, Creator through the crown chakra, coming through the rest of our body, right, the rest of our physical and energetic body, through our mind as well, because our mind can so easily block, right, those programs. So changing that, especially, I felt the need to add this, if you are like I used to do, if you, let me just say, are like me and do or have had words. Anyways, if you tend to beat yourself up, or your self-image, that how you value or devalue yourself, and or there's so much blame, shame, and guilt going on for yourself that you're like, I'm not worthy of unconditional love. I'm not worthy of that connection with God, Source, Creator. This is huge, right? It's huge. It's definitely, in my opinion, a starting point. We need to break those barriers like yesterday. Everyone is worthy. We don't have to earn it. We are always forgiven. Right? We talk about forgiveness. What day is that? Monday, Tuesday. I'm going up the chakras. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays. We talk about that forgiveness. We're always already forgiven. We have to forgive ourselves, right? And you are always deserving of unconditional love from God, Source, Creator. Allow yourself to receive that. And of course, benefits to receiving, checking my journal again, which I noted, is we feel better, we feel happier, we feel fuller, we have an improved self-esteem, we have a resilience or improved resilience. There's that sense of inner peace, right? That's like an amazing feeling, much different from overwhelm or anxiety or depression or feeling drained. We're not drained anymore because we're filling up our energy, we're filling up our heart, we're filling up our mind, body, soul with unconditional love. So we're not drained anymore. And we have that sense of really feeling beyond just the human, right? We're not getting sucked down into the humanist beliefs, the humanist emotions, the humanist judgments and criticism. We're rising above that. We're rising our vibration above that when we can receive unconditional love. And it allows us to give more, which we love to do. So when we are full and overflowing with unconditional love, we can easily give that away. We can easily share that with other people, and we don't have to then feel drained when we give it, right? How beautiful is that? That feels so much better. So thank you for all who have hopped on live or on replay. If you have any questions, please let me know. I hope you will join me back tomorrow, Mondays, talking about self-awareness even more, grounding into yourself, increasing that awareness so we can assess our energy to see if we are in alignment with the source of unconditional love, right? And in so doing, again, we also protect us. We protect our energy, which is an ongoing process. So take good care of you. I will see you soon.